What's going on, everybody? Steven with you again on Bama GA. Y'all see I got some fire in this big grill. Getting ready to put dinner on. I just got home from work and had a hankering for some chicken thighs. So I'm gonna do a few chicken thighs here in a minute and just bring y'all along with me. So y'all hang in there. We'll see how this cook go. All right, later. All right, y'all, I'm back. I got some potatoes. I'm baked some potatoes on here. So I'm gonna put them, I got my heat all on this end. So I'm gonna put my potatoes close to the heat. And then I have some boneless, skinless thighs that I just stuffed, seasoned, stuffed with cream cheese, a few other little things, and wrapped them in bacon. So I'm gonna set all of these up here. I got some of them that's wrapped and some of them that I didn't wrap. The ones that I didn't wrap, I'm gonna be using those for chicken sandwiches. And the ones that I did wrap, however you wanna eat it. Those are the wrapped ones. Excuse me. So then, I'm offset grilling today, which is like smoking. So I got a hot fire down there. I got about 3 logs of wood on there. I got some oak and some hickory. I think I got 1 stump or 2 stumps of hickory that didn't burn all the way out on the last cook, and 1 big stump of oak. And that is what we're doing today. So, potatoes and chicken. I got my salad in the house. It's gonna be ready to go. Give me some sweet tea. This is dinner / lunch tomorrow. All right, come back to y'all in a little bit and show you what it's looking like. All right, y'all. I wanna talk to y'all a little bit. I just got some questions, and maybe y'all can answer them in the comments or whatever. How long most of y'all been cooking? In whatever way you cooking. About what age did y'all start? And about how many years you got now? I don't, care if you say how old you are or whatever. But when I was a kid, I was always in the kitchen with both my grandmothers. Every time I was at one of them house, I was in the kitchen with them. And then, like, during holidays and stuff, I used to watch my mama and my aunties them cook, and go to all my friends' house. I would watch how they mamas would cook. And then when the outdoor cooking happened, I would always watch all the men that was on the grill. I was little. I just always been drawn to cooking. First time I ever got to cook on a grill, barbecuing, man, I was little, and my first assignment was to go mop the food. With chicken and ribs, and we used to do a lot of Boston butts, but that always kind of like stayed with me. When I left for the military, I wasn't a cook in the military, I was an engineer, but I always cooked outside of, being in the Navy and stuff. I always cooked at home and stuff. And I would grill and all of that. And that stuff, it just kind of started coming back up in me a little bit, because for a while I didn't cook as far as like the way I do now, grilling and smoking and stuff. Especially being in the Navy, you go on long deployments, you don't get to cook. And then when you come back and you do cook, it's a pretty big deal. At least for me it was. I used to cook a lot when I lived in San Diego. A lot of barbecues I used to do. Me and all my friends, we would all barbecue. We'd get together on like a Friday after work, and we'll do a cookout on base. Our whole command would, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially the engineering departments. Like, where I was stationed, my last duty station in California, with EOD and NSCT1, we always loved Friday cooks, man. It was cool. And I loved to cook. And but when I got back down south, man, I don't know, it seemed like I can't stay away from a grill or a smoker. I can't turn my eyes away from what I see at people's house when I be, on my day job or whatever. I've been ate up with cookers. And I know I got to get rid of some stuff, but every time I look at one of them things I need to get rid of, I always feel like I need to keep it. Some of y'all might be able to understand what I'm saying. But this cooking food, as far as grilling and smoking go, I think this is like the freest form of cooking. That's my opinion. And the reason I say that is, you got all your regional barbecues. You know what I'm saying? All y'all cook, so I don't have to speak deeply on that. You got barbecue pretty much reigns supreme throughout the South. So every southern state and region got their own ways of doing barbecue. But within all that, every cook is done by an individual. So there are some things that are just common to the region, and then you got people, everybody after the commonality do their own thing. But I feel like sometimes some of us don't even cook like the region we in, for whatever reason. Like with me, for instance, I grew up in Alabama. We always cooked over open fire. Live fire. We didn't have no smokers. If you could afford a little grill, you had a little grill. But like I say, plenty of times we just had rocks and we put whatever grate on it we could get, whether it's from a stove or refrigerator, whatever. But most of the time, you have like, maybe a cinder block grill or whatever, but you cook over live fire. Everything. I can't remember the first time I ever had a smoked rib. I just can't. Because the first time I paid attention to the difference in how they were cooked was like, I don't know. It's probably been about the last, I say, 5 years strong. Because for me, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just the way the people cook where I'm from. It was like the way we cook back home where I'm from in the sticks. I just could not tell hardly a textural difference between the cooks of smoked ribs, grill ribs, grill pork shoulder broke down in the pulled pork, or smoked pork shoulder boiled down in the pulled pork. I didn't really start paying attention to that until I got my first smoker. I didn't get my first smoker till 6-7 years ago. But I've always, had a grill for a long time. But I would grill without ever even giving smokers consideration. I would grill like I was smoking. I would let my food cook offset of the fire when I got what I wanted. When I was young, I was doing that. Even when I was a kid, you know, you go through a phase of burning some food for, you know, your first time or whatever. But we always had grown folks, you know, telling us to do, you know, you need to flip it. You need to move that over a little bit, whatever. So I learned at a young age how to cook offset without ever having seen an offset when I was young. So when I grill anything, it's always been direct and indirect, or direct and offset. However, I learned how to smoke meat on a grill years before I ever thought about a smoker. And now that I got this big grill, today I am just completely offset cooking with it. The potatoes are the closest thing to the fire, and then the meats are down from the fire. I got the fire all the way up against the back of that thing, and or the front, whatever you want to call it. But I got my meat down from it. Indirect grilling / smoking. And I'm trying to see, in particular, a difference on this grill. One of y'all made a comment saying something after I did my first cook, referring to once I master this grill. And this is part of me learning this grill, trying to master it. Because truth be told, I would rather have a big grill than an offset, because I've cooked like that the majority of my life. So for me, the smoker is, how can I say this without having half y'all try to eat me alive in the comments? To me, the smoker is more versatile in a way, depending on design, okay? Compared to the grill. It gets a lot hotter in this grill than it does a smoker because of the firebox being offset and the smoke, I mean the other smoke too, but the heat having to come out of the firebox up into the smoker. With this grill, the heat is right in there, directly in there with the food the whole time. So you, depending on where your stack at, how you got your vents or whatever, you create the flow you want and you can cook offset. But you got, you know, in order to throttle it, I feel like that's a little bit different on a smoker compared to an offset. I feel like on a smoker, they respond, in my opinion, y'all can tell me how y'all's do, but in my opinion, when you throttle your heat smoke on a smoker, to me it seemed like you can get a little bit more precision with your temperature compared to a grill. Like, this grill don't have no vents. This grill is leaky as a sieve. Y'all might be able to see all the smoke coming around me. I can't throttle this. So with it being so big, that's my way of throttling this. I can go different size fire. I can move the fire anywhere in there I want. And because of the way this thing is made, I can move meat as far away or as close easier in this than I can a smoker, because it's just so much more space. But the temperature inside this is hotter at any given time compared to any offsets that I've ever used. And I'm kind of liking that, because I'm getting to the point to where, as much as I enjoy some of them really long cooks that I do, I kind of want to get the food over and be able to enjoy myself a little bit differently now. And this is really gonna let me be able to do that. I just wish it didn't leak so much. And it's got me looking at cooking a little bit different now. I pay a lot more attention to certain things I didn't pay attention to as much when I was smoking just on the offsets all the time. But just having the option to be able to just spread my heat out. If I feel like I don't want to move my meat, but I need a little bit more heat, I can just slide some fire down closer to it. Don't have to move my meat or whatever. I can't do that in a smoker. I have to move my meat. I love being able to control my fire's distance to the meat or whatever I'm cooking inside this thing. That is awesome. And that's what I like about like the Shirley Santa Maria's. You know, you can move your heat up or down. You can put it in a left or a right tray. You know what I'm saying? You can even within each tray, depending on how much heat source you got in there, you can move your heat source around in that tray. And that's cool. And you know, you can even raise your rack if you wanted to cook a different kind of way, hanging foods. You can even raise your rack, figure out the way the wind is blowing, raise the back, you know, move the smoker around or the grill around till you can manipulate the wind the way you want to for your cook. I like that about the Shirley. With this, there's a lot of things I'm really loving about it, and I keep referencing this and Shirley simply because I'm still going through my build with Shirley, but I got a whole lot of things going through my head as far as my build. I'm thinking about some stuff and the way I love to cook and all of that, and it's got me hopefully on the right track to design something that I really, really will have tailor-made for me, as far as being able to be versatile. Everything I got as far as these bigger grills, they give me a lot of versatility, but still difference among them, that each of them have their specific places. Like, I intend to cook a brisket on this thing. I seen, man, Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue, that dude, he direct grilled a brisket. And I told my wife before I even got this one, I was like, I want to grill a brisket and see how that come out. He gave me so much confidence when he did his. He gave me the confidence when he did the prime rib like a brisket. And that prime rib, when I did it, man, my wife them could not stop talking about it. And so I want to do another one of them, but I want to do it all on this big grill as part of what I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my build with Shirley. But I'm on a rant. But anyway, if any of y'all out there, man, just always thinking like that with your cooker and how you cook and how close is the way you cook, really, you know, like your regional cooking style and all of that stuff. I just wanted to ask y'all about that. Just some things be on my mind. So, you know, I just thank the Lord that I still got a mind that can function and everything. But y'all let me know, man, in the comments or whatever, and let me know how y'all view cooking outdoors, you know, however you view it. I would love to hear it from you. I would really love to see some of y'all video your cooks. I asked this when I first started doing these videos. People would respond to mine in the comments, and I would, you know, let them know I want to see them cook too, because I like to see what everybody doing, because I want to know if there's a commonality in a region, and I want to see how far that extends, you know, in a given area, and just see if we all do have similarities in cooking to a certain degree. So y'all just drop something in the comments and let me know. I don't care if it's a book. I'll read it. I love reading what y'all got to say about whatever our video. I just pray that something that I say may lead some of y'all that don't know Christ, you know, to look for him for yourself and to get a relationship with him. Everything in my life was preordained, just like everything in your life is preordained. But you can always veer to it or veer away from it. And I just pray that all of y'all would see a reason to veer to what was preordained for your life from the beginning, when the Father created you in your mama's womb before he even knew you, or you even knew who you was. But anyway, I just love y'all. I appreciate y'all watching these videos, and we're gonna get back to this cook. But drop something in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right. All right, y'all. I opened the other side up to let the smoke out, but we finna open this side and look at everything together. All right. Ooh, my cheese is dripping all over the doggone ash pan down there. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Leaving a little indentation on them potatoes. What I'm doing is filling them with these tongs. Yeah, they ain't ready, but they going in just a little bit. I ain't even got to squeeze that one. We're looking pretty good on the chick. Done got a lot of smoke, I'll tell you that much. This thing been rolling dirty. When I say dirty, I ain't talking about like heavy white smoke. I'm talking about like perfect for brisket heavy, or maybe a little too heavy for my chicken. That's what I'm talking about. You know, chicken takes smoke real easy. I love super smoky food, but I don't like bitter smoky food. And I don't think it's there, but we'll find out when we take a bite. It look good though. Everything look real good. I love the color. Let me wet it a little bit. Now I know a lot of y'all out there may not use sprays or mops or any kind of moisture addition to your cook chamber, and that's cool. But a lot of us add moisture to it just to make sure it stays the way we want it. Like, ever since I was a kid, we add moisture to food. We use that mop, and our mop could be made with anything, with a clean towel, you rip a piece, or t-shirt that's clean, you rip a piece, or, you know, a little face cloth that's clean, you rip a piece. And that's just the way it was. We made a mop out of anything. Then when they started putting mops in the stoves, we could buy a mop. Them babies glistening. And we're gonna let this cook keep rocking. I don't know if y'all can see my cold bed. I'm gonna show it to y'all. I want y'all look. I can't get my camera too close, but I got 2 logs gone to ash, and a bunch of coals just heaped up, and I got that 1 oak log still burning all by its lonesome, and it is hot in there. I tell y'all, it is super hot in that joker. So this thing is so big that you do not have to go super duper far away from the fire to be cool. This thing still has to go all the way to the other side and fill that side up also, and the height of this thing. So when you offset cooking in this much space that I'm offset cooking on, in any other grill, you could not put this much food on it like a store-bought grill and have this much space between all your food and be able to offset. You literally would have some food directly over the grill. So it's real cool. 6 foot long on the cooking space, 4 foot wide. That's just across these two bottom grates. So you're looking at 24 square feet of cooking space just on these two. And then you got a 6 foot long, almost foot wide upper rack. And you can cook on that or whole food, whatever. So that's an additional 6 square foot right there. So you got so much space in here, man. You can do all kind of cooks on this thing. Little small, fun family cooks like I'm having, because I love having fun with myself. That's just me. Say what you say. But anyway, or you can take this thing to capacity and cook whatever it said you can cook on it. I frankly think that's hot dogs or hamburgers, but I ain't no hot dog and hamburger only type of dude. But we gonna do us a brisket on here, and we gonna see how that sucker turn out. Might be something to think about. All right, let's get her closed back down. And we'll come back in a minute. All right, y'all, let's open it up and see what we're looking like right now. Ooh, boy, they look good. Check these taters. They're still pretty hard, so we're gonna move them directly over the fire. Let's check these thighs first. It's what they looking like underneath. I'm gonna go ahead and flip these a little bit. Even though they're indirect, what I'm about to do is move all of them closer to the fire, because you have to remember, this fire is burning down. So the fire is actually getting colder itself. So you may have to adjust your meat. Once I get all of them flipped over, then I'm gonna slide everything down. All right, let's look at these wrapped pieces. That's what that looks like on the bottom. I like to let that cook a little bit more. Let's move them closer. This is what they top color looking like. Look pretty decent. Everything slid a little closer. See all that cheese on the grill that came out of my ones that's wrapped up. All right. just mist them down a little bit. And we're gonna poke our fire around a little bit. Just kind of move some of the coals, not all of them. Just gonna cover about half of them from the ash. That'll raise the temperature a little bit. I can feel the difference already. I'm just on this side of the tray alone. Just moving that little bit of coals to get the ash off of them, I can feel the heat difference that quickly. So let's go ahead and let it back down. And we're gonna let that baby ride. Come back to y'all in a little while. All right, y'all, let's open it back up. See what we're looking like. Oh, yeah. That chicken looking good. Looky, looky. That look good. What I'm gonna do right fast is let me grab my temp pen. I'm gonna temp it. All right, we're gonna go in, make sure we on track to be safe to eat. 142. So we still coming along slow. 137, still rocking. 151, 143. All right, we got a ways to go on these unwrapped ones. 129. 140, dead on. See about this thin. 138. All right, now let's try one of the stuffed ones. Let's go with this one. 160, dead on. And these got cream cheese in them too, so it may be, see, I want to say 190. 180. These are closer to the fire. 184. 194. 178. 180. Man, my pen went out. That never happened before. No, not that much over the heat. And I was not pressing the button. 179. All of these wrapped ones, all of them well over 165. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these wrapped ones, I'm gonna sit them up top, kind of pull them back this way a little bit. Look good. Man, look at that char on the bottom of that thing. Man. Some of these I might want to move down that way a little bit. These that was closest to the fire. bit closer to the fire. I want to bite one of these so bad. We're going to stoke our fire around a little bit too. This little piece don't fell off of that one. We're going to set it back on. Just wet them up a little bit. Alright. Let's get these taters a squeeze and see how they feel. Oh man, yes indeed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And them babies coming. You might want to roll them over a little bit. Let them come from this side. Trying not to burn my arm. Had a burn on my arm from the power washer back earlier in the summer. Trying to get them all to stand up. On one side. Trying to cook it a little better. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to stoke this fire around just a little bit more. What I think I'm going to do this time is go to the other side and do it. Let me see how effective I am from this side this time. Yeah, these coals over here, they going on back that way. Let me go to the other side and do it. Go to the other side. Y'all can't see nothing. Alright, y'all, look who it is. She just got home from dance class from school. Say hey to the folk, Paris.
Hi.
That's alright.
Hi, welcome to Beverages Outdoors.
You already know they know. Alright, we're gonna check this chicken, y'all. Alright, let's get this chicken looked at. This ought to be ready to pull off. I gotta get it in the house.
I see the chicken.
Yes, you see the chicken.
And the ribs.
That's not ribs, that's potatoes. So let's see what it's temping at now.
Oh. Heat. Are you ready to race? Heat. You ready to race? Are you ready to race?
Woo.
Are you ready to race? I know he was ready to
Good.
race. Dad,
Yeah, darling.
he is ready to race.
Some of this is not temping good. Some of it is. I gotta move it all around. Them potatoes, I know them potatoes are softer than they were the last time. Yeah, this is not all tempting. Some of it is. Some of this is tempting good. Some of it's not. So I'm gonna take what was tempting good and I'm gonna put it up top. And what was not, that was barely there. What was not, I'm gonna move these potatoes and put it directly over the fire like they are. they're not as much over the fire as the potatoes. Yeah, this one here, this one's close to where the potatoes is at. Get it up there. That was good. I guess I moved my coals around so much that I created some cold spots, because I figured it would be up to temp this close to the coals. But I guess my coals done cooked down enough that not heating it up as thoroughly as I thought cooking it through as thoroughly. So we're gonna move these potatoes. They pretty soft feeling. We're gonna move this chicken directly over this log. It's down here. I need this to hurry up because my little girl got to go to bed here in a minute. I don't want to stay up late tonight. I want to give me dang, knock my stuff down. I want to give me a good night rest tonight. So we're going to let them go like that for a minute. First, let me tempt them up there. This is good. I tasted a little piece off of one earlier. Man, that's good. These up here done cooled down. When I put them up there earlier, all of them were well over 165. So that just tells me that this warming rack, it does just warm food. You gotta leave something up there an extremely long time for it to actually cook. And I noticed that on my last cook on this thing. When I would put stuff up there, it would actually get colder. So I put everything that I feel like I should put back down here for a second. Tighten everything back up because I'm not gonna spread my fire out. And I'm gonna close it down. And I'm gonna call that it, y'all. I'm gonna let this do its thing and finish up. But I appreciate y'all sitting here listening to me babble. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.